Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, yesterday I just got back from a weekend trip that I took to Amsterdam. I made a little travel vlog. If you want to check it out, I'll link it below. Now, this is the third time that I visited Amsterdam, and the first and second time that I visited the city, I really did all of the touristy things that you see people recommend and talk about, like the red light district, all of the cool coffee shops. I did a bunch of museums. I visited the Anne Frank house. I did the Heineken experience. Now, I had a really good time doing all of those things, and I definitely recommend doing them if it's your first or second time visiting Amsterdam. But for me personally, on my third time around visiting, I really wanted to do more original and creative things. I wanted to discover the culture and not just like the tourist hubs. And so in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you guys my 6 tips for exploring Amsterdam, maybe in new and different ways than what you're used to. So my first travel tip for you guys is to take advantage of the free ferry. Most people, myself included, when they visit Amsterdam, they stay in like Amsterdam Central, like the coffee shops, the red light district. They stay on one side of the canal. But there is a ferry that will take you across the canal to sort of different areas in Amsterdam. There's 2 places that I think are pretty cool in particular. You can take the ferry for about 15 minutes across the canal to the NDSM wharf. And there's a ton of cool things to see over here. One thing that I really enjoyed was the NDSM shipyard, which is just totally flipped. It's no longer a shipyard, it's sort of like an artist playground. You'll see tons of free art expositions, really interesting, quirky art, I would say. And in and around the shipyard, you also have really cool cafes and terraces where you can have a drink or a snack. On the side of the canal, we also discovered a restaurant called Plek. And this is something that I was so happy to discover because Amsterdam is definitely not the food capital. I feel like the food in Amsterdam Central is like really oriented towards the clientele that's gonna be visiting the smoke shops and wanting to snack on like greasy, unhealthy food. So it was really nice because in this restaurant there was a lot of healthy options, a lot of veggie options. So I had a falafel plate, Guillaume ordered a burger, and we shared a cheesecake and like a fish appetizer. What's really cool about this restaurant is that it's on the canal. So you can either sit at a picnic table in the shade. We did this and we played some cards. But also I would definitely recommend bring your bathing suit, and you can sit on one of the lounge chairs and soak up the sun while you enjoy your drinks and food. You can also take the ferry right across the canal, like literally, I would say it's a minute on the ferry, to Wiek Sloterleg. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This place is also pretty cool. You can go up the Adam tower to the lookout. And up there is also like that famous swing that you see everywhere that's like really high up and you like swing off the edge. You can also rent bikes on this side of the canal, and you can bike along one of the canals to the last remaining chalk windmill in the Netherlands. So yeah, I really liked visiting the side opposite Amsterdam Central, and I thought it was so cool because the ferry was free, it was beautiful, it was breezy, which is great if you're visiting Amsterdam in the summer. My second tip for you guys is to check out breweries while you're in Amsterdam. I feel like the Heineken experience is like known, everyone does that. I've done it, I loved it. But what I also really loved is visiting more local, like indie breweries. Brewing beer is a huge tradition in Holland. The monks from the Middle Ages kicked off brewing beer in Holland. So yeah, it is a pretty big part of the culture and you see it everywhere. What's really cool is that most of these like local breweries offer tours and tastings. I'll link below some breweries that I wanted to go to with links to their tours. Unfortunately, because of COVID right now, a lot of the tours are canceled, so we didn't get to go on one, but it's something that I wish we'd been able to do and something that I will do the next time I go. Even though we didn't get to do the tours, we did go see the breweries, which was a really awesome experience. The first brewery we visited was Prael, and this was super cool because it's located pretty centrally, so it's in the red light district. It has a terrace, but the inside is also super aesthetic, very cute. And what we ended up ordering was sort of a beer flight with 4 beers to sample and some nuts, and that was 10 euros, and it was delicious. The second brewery we visited was Tij, I don't know, apostrophe T-I-J. This was really nice. It has a gorgeous patio with like trees and fairy lights, and there's a massive windmill on the roof. So yeah, it was a very cool, very relaxing experience. Again, no tourists, like only locals. So yeah, it was really nice to relax and like not be surrounded by craziness. So my third travel tip for you guys is if you're feeling a little bit tired and you want to relax, Amsterdam is huge. You will walk literally all the time. And so by the end of the second day, my boyfriend and I just literally wanted to sit in a park, enjoy some food, and just chill out. So for me, one of my favorite parks to go to, and I'm gonna read it because it's a very long title, Die Kruidenpluktuin van de Weteringbuurt. I do apologize because that was definitely butchered. So what I love about this park is that it's very central. It's stunning. You have weeping willows falling into the canal. You have boats that are going by. You have beautiful hydrangeas. But most importantly, what I love about this park is that it is not busy. Some parks you'll go to, you will just have craziness everywhere. People will be just sitting beside each other. Everyone will be everywhere. It'll be busy, crowded, loud. Ugh. This park, every time I go, is just calm, peaceful, relaxing, and beautiful. So my fourth tip for you guys is to enjoy a crazy night out in Amsterdam. For me personally, I really like the area around the Rembrandt statue. It's sort of like a square with a ton of coffee shops and bars that are very lively, but then it branches off into a bunch of streets that are also very beautiful and colorful with a bunch of lights and fairy lights and trees. What I really like about this place is that it's lively, but it's not jam-packed, so it still has a really nice ambiance. So our first night in Amsterdam, we decided to spend our night checking out the red light district and going to coffee shops and bars in that area. Oh my god, what a mistake. Literally horrific. There are 300% more people in this condensed space than anywhere else in Amsterdam. You have like volunteers herding the crowds of people down the streets. It's like insane. You can't breathe, it's so hot. It was really bad. And another bad thing about this area, because it's touristy to like the maximum degree, people who work there, like the restaurants, the bars, the coffee shops, are really not pleasant. Like, they are by far the rudest, most annoyed people that I have met in Amsterdam. I feel like they're just so fed up with like all of the tourists and bachelor parties and bachelorette parties that like just crowd this area. So yeah, if you're looking to have a good night and go to some cool coffee shops, go to some cool bars, listen to some music, have some pretty scenery, I would definitely recommend the Rembrandt Square, and I would definitely also recommend avoiding the red light district. My fifth tip for you guys is to take advantage of cool accommodation. Now, I feel like Amsterdam is a city known for being artistic, being unique, being very fun, and so while you're there, I would really recommend that you stay in accommodation that is also really unique, fun, and artistic. And there are so many options. So normally I just look at hostelworld.com and I look at all the cool options, but I would really recommend two types of accommodation. So the first thing I would recommend is sleeping in a boat hostel. I feel like this is something pretty unique to Amsterdam. I don't really know if there's anywhere else where this is as common, but yeah, so you can sleep in a hostel that's a huge boat on the canal. It's great because they're pretty centrally located on the canals. Breakfast is usually included. They're normally on the lower end of the price range and the staff is always super friendly. It's a really interesting, unique experience. Like, how many times are you really gonna get to sleep in a boat? Another place that I would recommend for accommodation is the Volkshotel. Now, I didn't get to spend my night here and I was so pissed because I found out about it literally like 5 hours before we got to the city. So why I would recommend this is because this hotel has just so many things to offer. It's pretty centrally located right beside a metro station. The hotel rooms are really nicely decorated and fairly inexpensive, but what is so cool about this place is their rooftop. So they have a restaurant on the rooftop, which is also a bar, and I believe a club on the weekends. It's an amazing panoramic view of Amsterdam, unlike anything else, so I've heard. And what they also have on the rooftop is saunas and hot tubs that are free to use for hotel guests. And I think that's such a cool idea to be able to watch the sunset or the sunrise in a hot tub on a hotel rooftop. So unfortunately, I didn't get to stay at that hotel, but like 100% that is on my Amsterdam to-do list the next time I'm in the city. The sixth and final tip I have for you guys is to rent a bike. When you're looking at Amsterdam, I feel like it looks like a small city and you're like, oh my god, no problem, I can walk it. No. Oh my god, wow, what a mistake. Because of all the canals between the streets, you really have to take like a long route to get anywhere in this city, and things are a lot more spaced out than you think. And for our 2-day trip, we literally spent the whole 2 days walking. By the end, we were so tired, and what was such a bummer is that even though we walked so much and we were so tired, we didn't get to see all of the things we wanted. I really regret not renting a bike because, like I said, there's just so many things I wanted to see. There's so many cool canal streets and coffee shops that I wanted to visit, and I just didn't have the time to. Renting a bike is also super easy to do in Amsterdam. There are like hundreds of bike rentals everywhere, But also what's great is that most hostels and hotels have their own bike rental services in the facilities. So it's like even more mega easy to rent a bike. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you found those tips helpful. I hope they were interesting, and I hope they were things to do in Amsterdam that you haven't seen before or haven't heard of. If you guys have any other tips, please leave them down below because I would be interested in them for my 4th trip to Amsterdam. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.